let's get right into it. So this video is going to be a lot quicker than, or a lot shorter than my normal videos, because I want to catch up on like the stuff that I had missed. And also it's a heat wave and it's really hot in here and I have my air off. So I'm not going to be melting up on this camera for 50 minutes. So let's get into Kalani and her son. Kalani, maybe your dad is right. You know what I mean? I can't believe that I'm siding with that self-hating man, but I think that you probably would do better with a white man, because this relationship with Asuelu is dreadful. It's dreadful, mama. No woman should have to go through this. And I'm sad that I'm watching this on TV. Girl, sometimes white is right. And you know, another thing that I am starting to notice with a lot of these relationships, especially with the American women, I think the American women on this show, Kalani is one of them and Ariella is another one. And also Devin. I think a lot of these women on the show went around the globe having, you know, their little eat, pray, love moment, and were having unprotected sex with these men and got pregnant and probably couldn't come home because of the shame that women deal with when being a single mother or, you know, being unwed. And I think that they just tried to make the relationship work. Sometimes you got to do like the men do. The men drop their seed and they keep it moving. But unfortunately, you got to carry the seed and keep it pushing on your own. Sometimes you got to do that than being in a miserable situation. This is a miserable situation. And I feel like she's trying to make it work with this dude because she got pregnant. And her virgin behind couldn't come back home, you know, having, you know, sampled the forbidden fruit and pregnant. She had to do something. And I think this is what she did. And you know what, Kalani? Don't do it for the kids. Don't do it for your parents. Do this for you. You know what I mean? I think you're trying to make a lot of situations work and you are miserable. Be happy. The best thing for your kids to see is their mother happy. This is a sad situation. I'm not saying divorce this man, but I'm saying he got some work to do. I don't know what it was that made you say yes to him. I don't know why. Out of all the Samoan men, why was he the one? You couldn't have got no man from the Rock's bloodline. Have you seen the men? Have you seen his family? My God, today. And it's a lot of them. You couldn't have got one of them. This was the dude that you decided, this is going to be my baby's father and my husband. But I think it was a different situation. I think it was, you know, she was just like, I'm on this trip. You know what I mean? I'm grown. I'm in the motherland. I'm going to get me some motherland peen. The kind of peen that my dad keeps on telling me to stay away from. You going to listen to him now, ain't you? He knew something. He knew something. Now, let's talk about Asuelu and his raggedy family. I am just joking, Asuelu sisters. I am just joking. I don't want no smoke. But, you know, y'all were raggedy on this show. On this show. I live in Alaska if you're trying to find me. Alaska. Yes, Alaska. Anyway, they raggedy because they sit down with Kalani and Asuelu and, you know, they're doing this little small talk. We all know what they're building up to. So after they feel like all the small talk is done, they have caught up. The mom goes, where's my money? Why didn't you bring me my money? And then Asuelu says, well, this is how much we can give you. And his mom's like, that ain't nothing. And the sisters jump in and was just like, you know, our culture, we got to take care of our parents. And Kalani, I was like, yes, sis. She jumped in and she was just like, well, are you giving your parents any money? Are you taking care of them? And she's like, oh, that's none of your business, because they all trying to eat off of him. All of them are asking this man, listen, I get it. I'm Black American, right? And we still have a lot of the, you know, traditional outdated standards of what men are supposed to do in the home. And that is providing, and that is also taking care of, you know, your own family that you have created and your family as well. For a lot of Black people, it is ingrained in us that when we get something, we got to take care of everybody. And a lot of us do that to our own detriment, you know? So I totally understand what is happening here. That Asuelu is expected to provide for his family, but it can't be to the detriment of his own family. And I think a lot of us have to learn that. So I don't think it's just a Samoan thing. I think for a lot of people, it's generational. Especially for my generation as a millennial, we are, you know, in debt. We don't have anything that was left over. So now we're starting to be like, I can't help everybody out. You know what I mean? I can do what I can do, but I have to take care of me first because I don't have anything. I'm trying to build up off of nothing. So I think with our generation, a lot of that has happened because there is nothing being left to us, especially in the United States of America. We are deeply in debt. We are inheriting debt. We're in a really bad situation. So I think a lot of millennials are just like, listen, if I don't take care of me, I won't have anything to give and I'll be in a worse off situation than I am now. So I think that's where Kalani is, and I also think that she is bringing Asuelu to her side a bit more, because I think in this week's episode we're going to see him, you know, finally start to get it that his family is using him. And that's sad because he really, really loves them. He really, really loves them. But it just, the way they came off this episode was just sad. Just really, well, it's none of your business. Excuse me? You asking my husband for money. That's my husband. That is my business. You're taking money out of my kid's mouth to feed your mother when it's 3 of y'all. Y'all all can come together and give your mother a nice portion. Why is Asuelu expected to give his mama $1,000? You ain't giving your mama $1,000. Truth be told, y'all probably asking for that amount of money so y'all can all divide that between the 3 of y'all. Y'all running game on Asuelu, but his wife can see it. Tanya and Sinjin. So I'm still not believing this storyline that Sinjin is an alcoholic, because I told you, sad to say, these reality TV producers, especially the EPs, are predators. They see a storyline, they will devour that storyline and they will exploit it to the nth degree. If Sinjin was this uncontrollable alcoholic, we would have seen it, guys. We would have seen it in scene 1. That would have been the storyline. I think that Tanya and Sinjin, like I said before, are in a great place. Nothing is going on with them. This is a generated storyline between, you know, this couple and the producers of this show to give us something to keep them on. Now, this is how they are eating. This is how they are surviving off of this check and off of the notoriety of this show. So I get it and I understand, but it just needs to be believable. What is believable is that mother, Sinjin's mama, is not happy with his pick. She's doing the best because she's on camera, but every now and again, how she really feels comes up about Tanya. I kind of felt bad because I felt like Tanya was trying so much to prove to his family that, you know, she loves him and really cares about him, and the family is just defending, you know, Sinjin's ability to not be able to care for her home or lead by saying that, oh, he's just a free spirit. He's a grown man who has a wife now and will probably have children. He can't be free all the damn time, not with no family. And I also want to say this before I move on to another couple, because not much happened with Tanya and Sinjin in the last 2 episodes. Tanya was getting a little frustrated with Sinjin because of the way he was driving and stopping and, you know, revving the car. I get that he's back home and he's excited, and, you know, you jump back into who you are. A lot of times you don't know your partner until you see them in their home environment. A lot of times the accent comes out, you know what I mean? Different mannerisms comes out. Like, I am a totally different person in Los Angeles, Alaska, than I am in Philly. You know what I mean? I'm a totally different person. So I get that he was excited and just, you know, just jump right back into who Sinjin is, Sinjin from South Africa. But I think he also needs to be aware that his wife was in a traumatic accident. You know what I mean? She is forever changed. She has an injury now that she will have to deal with for the rest of her life. She's not no kid, right? So she's going to heal up differently. You know what I mean? And I think he needs to take that into consideration, because it looked really sad with her trying to explain to him why she feels, you know, a certain way about his driving. He's just like, oh, no, it's okay, baby. No, it's not. No, it's not. Like, I was in an accident, almost 10 years ago? And guys, the amount of anxiety that I have when I have to drive, or when there's like a sudden stop, I can't, like, that never leaves you. You're able to deal with it, but you're just extremely cautious now. And it just was really sad that he just didn't take that seriously. Elizabeth and Andre. Y'all, the way that Andre is fighting to stay a kept man is laughable. I mean, everybody in his life, his wife, her family, his family, all of Moldova, they're all telling him to get a job and take care of his family. He's just like, no, this works for us. And Elizabeth was just like, no, it doesn't. I want you to get a job. You're having the best time of your life, you know, playing with our child, putting her to bed, and then you're playing video games till I come home, and then you expect me to cook and clean. Like, everybody is telling this man that he has to get a job and he has to provide for his family. And he is like, oh no, I'm a kept man and I am okay with that. Now, let's get into this ghetto dinner. This is ghetto behavior. You know what? They're from Florida. Makes sense. Anyway, so I can't believe that I am agreeing with Elizabeth's brother, who I'm not quite sure, but I feel like I know who he is. My people, you catching up what I'm putting down? But I have to be on his side, because right is right and wrong is wrong. Andre was wrong. This dude don't know you. You married his sister in like 3 months and got her pregnant. And then when you came to America, you were nasty to everybody and standoffish. They can't ask you questions. They have no idea who you are. This is his little sister. He is asking information because he wants to know who you are, and he is staying on this one question because you're very evasive. He loves her and he cares for her, and he wants to make sure that she is in a healthy environment. But you being evasive about this information, you already have this dude, this white dude from Florida, you already have him thinking that you're going to be a danger to Elizabeth in America because you're not giving what would be simple information about yourself. So now his Florida brain is cycling all these conspiracy theories about who you could be because you will not give him any information about your past. And the more evasive you are, the more angry you get about the questioning, justifies his fears and conspiracy theories and questioning of you. Listen, I agree with him because the way Andre is responding to Elizabeth's father and brother asking him a very simple question, I would stay on that question too if that was my family member. I would stay on that question and I would not get off. What I did not like was the fact that, yes, that is your brother. I get it, that is your family and you want to protect him. I did not like how Andre's family, the only one who was standing up to him and being like, why are you acting like this? This is her family, was the sister-in-law. She was the only one who made sense from that side of the family. But Andre's friend and brother are just like, well, you got to stop asking him questions. That's why he's getting upset. I just asked why you moved from Moldova to Ireland. Why is that such a difficult question? Because as soon as you move from Moldova to Ireland, you run up on my sister and knock her up, and now you're in the United States. You keep on running from place to place to place, and you don't have no explanation? I agree with her brother and father. Who I don't agree with is Elizabeth and Andre. You're going to let that man almost beat your brother up because listen, say what you want. Andre was going to wipe the floor with that dude. And the brother didn't want no smoke. You could tell he didn't want to fight him. He kept on trying to make up because he knew. He knew that all that Andre had to do was punch him one time in the head and he was going to see the king. So he knew that, right? But I can't stand with Elizabeth. Yes, that is your husband. Christian, we are raised when you get married, you leave your family and that becomes your family. I honestly get that and I respect that. However, you're not going to disrespect my father and threaten bodily harm to my brother. Even when I'm calming you down, you're still trying to go in there to put hands on my brother, who as big as you are, you know you could harm. And then I'm going to get up and leave with you? I don't want to say dummy because, I'm working on me. But since you giving dummy tease, your father came out here to pay for your second wedding. Your second wedding. And this man has been disrespecting him since he got off the plane. And you're okay with it. You're telling us, again, that's my problem with Elizabeth. She doesn't say anything in that moment. She gets to her confessional. If he doesn't act right, I'm going to leave him. I don't have to marry him. I can't believe he talked to my father like that. But you ain't say nothing. You didn't say anything in that moment. Like, you get these cojones in your confessional, but you don't have it in your marriage. Something is wrong. Dummy tease. Dummy tease. Paul and Karini. Paul is just acting deranged again, which is why he was cast on this show. My issue was with Karini. Ma'am, at this point, you know this man is not in his right mind. You know this. You got your first clue when he took off running in the Amazon in some fake Timbs. You knew then that guy was unwell. You're still here. And I get it, it's a show, you need this check. But mama, you're going to have to pull Larissa and try to work you still being on the show without being with that man because he is not well. And you knew that. But you needed to get to America. No judgment. Do what you got to do to give yourself a better way of life. But this man is not well. And now you're bringing children into this environment. Girl, this is on you now because you have to protect that baby because his father can't. He can't. Like, we all know that something is off with Paul. His mama know that, but she don't care. His mama's like, I know my son is 2 cans short of a 6-pack, but I don't want that problem no more. I'm old. I'm done. Let his wife deal with them. But like at this point, Karini, you just have to, you gotta get yourself in a safe environment. Because now, even while the show isn't filming, Paul is going crazy on Instagram, like just all these weird lives. And I'm like, Karini, you gotta get out of that situation. Pull Larissa. You'll be okay. You'll still get a nice little check and still be on the show. You might have to interact with him just a little bit, but you don't gotta live with him. Not in no trailer studio or tiny house. Y'all told me that was the tiny house. I ain't never seen a tiny house that looked like that. But I'm looking at luxury stuff. Bougie. Bougie. So Michael and his abuser. Not too long ago, I got some insider tea that this couple is actually really in love. What I was informed was that this couple is really in love. They're just doing what they have to do for the cameras, but they're the real deal. That caught me off guard. I never would have thought this, but you know, love is love. Anyway, the optics of this relationship is still very questionable. So Michael and his abuser are now so close that he is now using tote in his vocabulary. Yes, as long as she can tote. Don't disrespect your beautiful accent like that. Please take tote out of your vocabulary, King. Don't do it. And also, Michael, wake up. Wake up. Your captor cannot have a child. It's just not happening. You're going to have to get another wife or a concubine or a side chick. You want to do it like that if you want children. Just know that being with Angela, she is not going to allow that, so you are not going to be able to have a child with her. What are you, about 33 years old? Listen, bro, let this relationship last about 3 or 4 years, because TLC is going to milk the hell out of you. Get an agent, get a lawyer, get a manager. Get somebody who will negotiate a nice little paycheck for you. Stack them paychecks, take a little bit off, send some to your family, and then, you know, stack the paychecks and put away the rest. And then after about the 4th year, get out. Get out. You got a nice cushion saved up. You're finally an American citizen. You have been on a very successful reality TV show. You can flip this into something for you. But this should not be a permanent situation. Even if you're in love, if you want children, that's going to interfere in their love. So many relationships break up because some people want kids, some people don't want kids, or some people want kids and they can't have children with that partner. So if this is something that is vital for you, a deal breaker for you, you gotta get out. You gotta get out, because if you stay in a relationship with Angela, you'll constantly resent her. She will constantly beat you up, and it'll just be a miserable life with no kids. Get out, dude. Get out. 4 years. 4 years. Because I think you'll have a nice little paycheck by then. You got to decide if you want to be my husband or African man in this country. What? Excuse me? The optics. The optics of this relationship, whether they put it on for the cameras or not, it's still gross. You know what? I was expecting Michael's captor to get beat up in these last 2 episodes, because the way she talked to him and his family and the way she talked to him in front of his family, I was expecting for her to get her wig snatched. It didn't happen. I was shocked. But, you know, if it does, we all understand. We all understand why. I'm an American. I'm not wearing a garb. You're having a wedding, you're having a Nigerian wedding, and you're wearing at a traditional American wedding. What are you doing? You can do that in America. This is a Nigerian wedding. You're not going to respect it. So you're starting off already. Like, she's letting the family know, I don't cook. I'm not doing this. I'm an American. This is how Americans do it. But you're marrying a Nigerian man. So you're not going to merge cultures at all. So it's just going to be all your culture, and that's it. 4 years, Michael. 4 years. Coltie and Jess and Debbie. We will get to her. Can we just talk about the elephant in the room first? And that elephant is the obvious fact, in my opinion, that Hans is Jess's daddy. Because, baby, listen, I am Black A, okay? And we do have family members in all different, you know, ranges, right? Everybody comes in different heights and colors and sizes. So I get everybody not being one tone. But Jess is a white woman. Because I'm looking at Jess and I'm looking at her POC daddy and her POC mommy. Or was that her aunt? What's that? If that was her aunt, then maybe. But if that was her mommy and her no, I think that was her mom. If that's what her mother and her father look like, where did Jess come from? What I need to know the timeline between Hans and Jess's mama. If that is, I think that's her aunt. Let me know. I think I got it mixed up. But still, Jess is a whole white woman. So what's the tea? It's something going on here. Now, I know I have cousins who passed, but Jess, I keep on looking at you and looking at your daddy. What was mama doing back in the day? Listen, it was the what, 80s or what, 90s? Even wilder. So who knows? Who knows, girl? But anyway, Team Jess from here on out, because Colt and Debbie are manipulating this woman and tormenting this woman for views. Because the only reason why Debbie told Jess about Vanessa was to get a reaction out of her, was to make her angry, was to have her fall apart on camera, and that is what she did. And then she goes and confronts Colt, and I think that Colt knew, because the way he was talking to Jess when she was throwing the shoes at him and telling him to get away from her, he was just like, why are you doing this? Why are you so angry? Like trying to paint this narrative of this, you know, crazed Brazilian woman, the same thing that he did with Larissa, although he was right. He still was painting that picture. And I think that he's doing the same thing with Jess. I think that Colt and Debbie are in cahoots. I don't believe that Jess is as aware of what is going on as they are. They are pimping her for the show, and I do not like it. Debbie is the worst. Colt is going to die alone and miserable. She doesn't want him to see any happiness. She wants to be his only, you know, sunshine, his only love. I'm telling you, these two, watch Stephen King's Sleepwalkers. I'm telling you, the leads are Colt and Debbie. That's the exact same relationship that those two had in that movie. So after, you know, Jess confronts Colt about, you know, the whole thing with Vanessa, because he was obviously lying, and we know that he was obviously doing that to get a reaction out of her. He's following her with the cameras and like, just talk to me. And she's like, no. Like, she did not want to talk to the dude. But she did want to get under his skin, because she said, I'm leaving you and I'm going to my ex's house and I'm going to have sex with my ex, Jess. You have to have another way to get things and to fight without using your coochie, mama. It's sad at this point. It really, really is. I'm starting to feel bad. Like, what is going on with Jess? And I'm not putting that on Brazilian woman. I know that that's what she said, but I just don't believe that. I just don't want to believe that. Anyway, those are my quick thoughts. I'll go back to my normal format of just being very, you know, tedious in my reviews. Probably starting on Monday. But I had a lot going on this week. A show that I was working on finally started production again. So I've been filming and working on that, and just a lot of stuff got pushed back. And that'll probably happen more as the industry opens and, you know, job opportunities just, you know, present themselves. I told you guys I moved out to Los Angeles to be an actress, and, you know, that is my first priority. But you guys are definitely up there. Definitely up there. So I'll try to do as much as I can in a timely fashion, but, you know, career comes first. But thank you guys so much for supporting me. If you like this review, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Prayerfully, we'll be back to our old format by this week or the following week. But I will continue to stay engaged with you guys. If not by YouTube, maybe by Instagram. I'm really active on Instagram. So if you want to, like, you know, talk to me or whatever, or find out what I'm up to, check me out on Instagram. But I'll try to, you know, stay as consistent as I can, work permitting. That's it. I'll see you guys in another review. Thank you so much for stopping by NikkiStar TV. Love you guys. Bye.